Good morning, guys. Sorry, gotta have coffee to start the day. All right, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. This week's video is actually going to be about how to shoot a video using only this beautiful and amazing smartphone. You can actually do it on any smartphone because smartphones are actually just freaking crazy nowadays. So this is actually going to be a two-part series. This week's video is going to be how to shoot a video using only your smartphone, and next week's video is going to be how to edit that video using only your smartphone. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this. Now, excuse the way I'm looking right now, I just got done working out. But there's a reason why I wanted to film this video right now. Because the story that I'm going to be creating using my smartphone is going to be about me making a smoothie after my workout. And that brings me to my first point whenever you want to shoot something on your camera, it's that you need a story. You can make any type of video you want, but it's going to be a dud if you don't actually have a story, which means that you need a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the story that I'm going to be shooting with my smartphone is that I want to show that I'm going to be making a smoothie after my run. And this is just the story that I'm deciding to choose. You can literally do anything, but it makes sense because I just want to show people that how I make my smoothie and what I do after my run. So this video is going to be more of like a walkthrough of how, basically I'm going to speak out loud of what goes through my brain whenever I want to create the video. So I want you to be able to use this and then apply it to make your own video of whatever it may be. Now, to start off, there's one thing that you have to establish first. Do you want to be shooting your video like straight up and down like this? Or do you want to be shooting your video sideways, like this? So basically what I'm talking about is, do you want to be shooting it in landscape? So basically what I'm talking about is, do you want to shoot it in landscape mode or portrait mode? And the reason why that matters is because if you mix landscape and portrait whenever you're editing it, and there will be these black bars on the side whenever you start with landscape and then go to portrait, and it'll mess up the viewing experience for the user whenever they're watching it. So go ahead and choose one orientation, either landscape or portrait, and then roll with it. For this one, I'm actually going to go ahead and do landscape because this is for a YouTube video and landscape will look better on YouTube. Portrait will look better on Instagram or Facebook. Now, there's another thing that you have to think about whenever you are shooting. This is like all before thoughts, before you even start hitting that record button. Do you want to be shooting this video in real time, meaning 24 frames per second? Or do you want to be shooting it in slow motion, meaning either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second or 240, you know, the list goes on and on. Now, the reason why the frame rates matter in this is because if you shoot it in 24 frames per second and then you decide that you want to slow it down in post, it'll look super jittery like this. And you know, it just doesn't look that good. So you're gonna wanna shoot in 60 frames per second so that it kind of looks like butter. And a lot of smartphones actually, they offer this option. I know mine does because #Samsung. But if it doesn't have a pro mode to be able to change the frames per second, your phone will most likely have a slow motion option. So you can go ahead and go through your settings and see if you want to go ahead and shoot in slow motion, which will already just make it into slow-mo, so you don't have to do that in post. Okay, so now that you have those two things in mind, so mine is going to be in landscape, and I'm going to be shooting in 60 frames per second because I want this video to be in slow motion. Now, the third thing that you really need to be thinking about is, what is my story? Like I said, your story, it can be an absolute dud if you don't actually have a beginning, middle, and end. So the story that I'm going to be showing you today is, after my run, I'm going to be making a smoothie, and then the story ends with me actually drinking the smoothie. So I'm going to take you through exactly my thought process in filming a smoothie. I'm pointing to the fridge because I'm going to be getting into the fridge to get my ingredients. Okay, so you could just go ahead and have someone film you for you, or you can use a tripod. Right now, what's going through my head is I want to show people that I am about to make a smoothie. And what do you usually do right whenever you make a smoothie? You get into the fridge, right? So now I'm looking at it and I'm just like, okay, I want to show from the back, me opening the fridge. That's just my very first thought. I'm gonna do that. You gotta make sure it's lined up too. Don't just like hit record and then. Okay, so I'm recording. And then I wanna showcase that I'm going into the fridge, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so all of that for just a little tiny, probably half a second clip. And now what you kind of have to do is think about, you have to like see the story unfold in your head. So now that I opened the fridge, what would be a next shot that would establish what I'm doing? Now, with my creative mind, what I'm thinking, I want people to see my face right whenever I open the fridge. So I'm going to take the camera from here. And then I'm going to actually put it inside of the fridge so that you can see my face. You kind of have to be creative whenever you want to put your phone in somewhere weird, like I'm using an avocado to keep my phone up. Okay, so you're gonna have to reshoot that whole scene again. So I already got that establishing shot of me opening the fridge. Now I'm gonna do it again. And then go ahead and watch it back. You wanna watch back what you just filmed, because I just watched it back and my husband was in the background and that won't look good for your video. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo that. Not saying that my husband doesn't look good, he does look good. Okay, so now that I have those two shots, what's the next step? I'm going to go ahead and get food out of the drawer. What is a creative way for me to be able to showcase that I'm getting food out? Now, honestly, right now, what I'm thinking is to just kind of film from a first-person perspective and grab what I want to get out of the fridge. Okay, so I just got everything that I needed out of the fridge, and I am no longer needed in the fridge. So what I'm going to do is showcase that I'm finished with it. This thing beeps after like 15 seconds of it being open. It is so stupid. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on my tripod, and what I would recommend is not doing too many angles. Like, I'm gonna keep the angle that I had from the very beginning. Shut up, holy crap. Because if you do too many angles, people can kind of get lost. They'll be like, whoa, okay, where did you just go? You wanna kind of make it easy for the viewers so that they're not wondering what just happened with like your video. Like, wait, where did they just go? So I'm gonna keep it open because that's what the last shot was, of me in the fridge. So do you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying? You have to establish the shots and the angles that you want, and then you have to watch the video unfold into your mind. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this video. I'm not going to explain every single thought that comes into my mind because otherwise this would be like a 45-minute long video. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, hit that fast forward button real quick. So what was kind of going through my head right there is that I wanted to establish exactly what I was doing. And I feel like the best way to do that is to shoot more than you feel like you will need. So I'm going to go ahead and get multiple different angles, and then in post I'm going to decide which angle looked the best and what I actually want to keep. You will never wish that you had less footage to go through. So go ahead and shoot more than you feel like you will need, because it always sucks whenever you are editing the video and you're like, well crap, I need an extra shot right there, and you didn't take it while you were filming it. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and utilize my third person because I don't have 3 hands, so I'm going to ask my husband to help me real quick. Always don't mind asking other people to help you. Tripod's nice, but sometimes it's nice to have a third person. So can you hold it like this, please? Right now I wanted to get a top-down shot because from right there you just saw that I opened up the jar of peanut butter, but I want to go ahead and have a different angle of me opening the peanut butter, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. That's good. Thank you. And that is a good smoothie. Okay, so that was a little bit on how I would shoot the video, but next week's video is going to be about how I actually edit it. So come back next week if you want to see exactly how I edited that video, and I will walk you through that whole entire process. So until the next video, bye!